blink your eyes, and suddenly they're in your face with a stun and a steal.
Yeah, not trying to recover on it. They do ultimately. Lit sending that one out. Sweet Tooth, both of them getting down there. Sweet Tooth now far side. Lit looking to send that pass. But Aurora already in the bubble. Oh, are you kidding me? It was in Steel Skydiver's face. In his face, completely screened out, and somehow Steel got the grab on that. Are you kidding me? Long shot here off the backboard. Acorn's gonna get a stop there.
Now trying to make his way, trying to juke his way, as kind of a tiger and mouse situation now, a cat and mouse situation now, I should say. And now the backboard shot. Oh my goodness!
Wow, cat and mouse and
pass. And in fact, this one's going to be an excellent save coming through from Wolfo, but Bad Elmo taking it here. Another save from Neo. So brilliant defense, in fact, coming through from Neo. And now the stack's coming through on the other side. It's going to be a shot, and Grimey's going to take it, put that one straight in for the 3, winning in the stack race there.
Really precise passing. Now Nillywick just driving that in, but Alacost able to trying to bait that shot, put his hands through the goal line and find that save, and that clears it to come through. But Nan needs to find their stacks, and they got to get possession. And now with possession and the shot's going to be Alacost. So Alacost making the plays there, throwing his hands in the air, a little bit pumped, and he should be happy with that shot.
Double off of the bounce, but nobody's home as he sends it across. Strem recovering here as he walks in on the bubble. Strem juking, bringing it in. Juke using a player. Nutty.
All right, hello everybody. Welcome to VR Master League here on Channel 1. I'm Palidore, and joining me on the cast tonight is Acadie. Aren't you proud of me? I can actually get that right now without messing up. It took long enough, but thanks for joining. We got Kangorillaz and Aurora, so it's going to be an exciting one.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a great game for sure. And yeah, thanks, Palidore. After such a long time, it's nice to have my name pronounced correctly. But nonetheless, it's great to have it coming out of your beautiful, beautiful voice, nonetheless. But but yeah, Aurora, Kangorillaz, big Master League game here today, and yeah, it's gonna be a nice one.
Yeah, well, I'm excited for it. Oh my, yeah, oh my, Rock Tor. What's up? And lulz, yeah, pointing at the Star Wars. That's what Echo is, right? It's Star Wars essentially, wars and stars, and you know, all these players, they're stars. They're in the master tier. They've got the master stars, a lot of stars in the sky, and the stars are in my eyes. As we get our eyes on this match, we have Kangorillaz, you know, the established ones for a very, very long time. You know, to former world champions, and well, in fact, technically the last world champions, dating back a couple of years ago to ESL. We have over on Aurora's side, the newest master team here in VRML. And they've been very, very successful both before and, in Master Tier, having, these great showings with a lot of viewers on streams, a lot of excitement in the air. This is a team that people expected to be making Master Division going into the season. And sure enough, come the Challengers Cup, they did.
Yeah, no, it was really interesting to watch them, kind of come through and make their way into the Master Tier. And now being able to compete with all these teams, they're currently sitting in that 5th position in the top 10. So really good on them to get into this Master Division without any struggles, really. And we'll have to see now that the game's getting going here what they can do against Kangorillaz.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, here we go. About to start off with the first round and everyone joining. Come around, come gather around this old campfire and listen to my tale of these master teams about to do battle. Here we go, Aurora on the launch. We'll get there first, butting it out, and looks like Zenith, Mad are in there to contest, but actually Steel Sky. What a really hot pass, and what a very Saluna type shot, in a sense that I've seen it happen a few times. Unfortunate, they do retain, and they may complain, but they do get it back, so I'll still have another go at this one.
Yeah, now Moonface with the disc, taking his time looking for the pass to Steel Skydiver. Steel Skydiver going for the shot, but a nice save there from Sealable Bag, and he'll get the clear temp down. It gets to midfield. It's a race for it now. It's going to be Moonface to it first, though. Looking for the pass down through the tunnel, finds it, but it will just go past and picked up by Zenith here at the other side. He's going to try to cross it through the middle. Bouncing it off of the wedge there, and the stack will find it, getting a reset to Mad. Mad looking for Zenith on his right side. Zenith being contested now by Saluna, getting the pass down to the middle to Mad, and Mad going for the shot. It's going to go off the back, though, and back in possession, but Sealable Bag back there to pick it up for the reset.
Yeah, Bag there even, and Mad there is gonna not care as he dunks it in, that is, and that's the first 2 points for Kangos.
Yeah, no, that was great positioning there from Sealable Bag to see Mad down there to be able to find that last second pass, and he's just able to stuff it in to get the first 2 points on the board, which is obviously very crucial because it can set the tone for the rest of the game or the rest of the round. But that said, that seems to be a timeout here. Maybe some technical difficulties from Aurora. Seems Saluna has left the game. I'm not too sure.
We'll
see what's going on there.
Did see that initial issue on their first drive, which always tough to see, especially a tough way to start. So maybe related, maybe not, but either or. Hopefully we'll get back started here soon. Now, with Aurora here, they're 12-2 on the record. So far in the season. Kangorillaz 9-4, been contesting all these teams in the Master Division all season. And again, Aurora, the newer one to it, but they had that victory versus Synapse, victory versus Anomaly, and then a very close loss against Ethereal on the grand scope of things. It was, a 32, 36, or 38 rather point differential. So I mean, they've definitely shown that they're here in the Master Division for a reason. Also played against 4 Kings there, their first match, I should say. Looks like, drop that game. But on the whole, that means, 50-50 thus far in this division, and trying to now maybe go with a winning record in Masters this cycle, as they will go back into the game now with Saluna back.
And I believe, so the pause timer is running down, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so we're just about to get started with 11 seconds on the timer, and just advantage to Aurora, as Kangorillaz gets the first goal of the game. We'll have to see what Aurora does on the first Joust advantage they have in this matchup here. And coming out of the tubes, it will be Steel Skydiver grabbing it, passing it to his left side to Caesar. Caesar quickly getting it to Moonface. Moonface being quickly pressured here from Kang. And Mad able to pick it up with the help of Zenith, and he'll get the clear down, but waiting for it. Actually, it will be picked up by Mad here as it takes an odd bounce, and he's going to go for a shot, but a nice steal here from Moonface, and he'll get the clear down the tunnel.
Yeah, Moon with a clear, Mooney. Why? With a clear, but Moonface here at the sideline now trying to actually, never mind, go back to the bow tie. So conceding maybe disc there as they do try and cover off their the back pass you see. And meanwhile, the forward defenders covering off with a stack. So good little defensive set there. The attempts will in fact knock the disc loose enough to maybe get it back. Strembitsky there is going to say no way, and that shot is on the way on the rebound from Zenith. It's 4 points to Kangorillaz.
Yeah, Aurora seemed to be stunned out a little bit there in the midfield throughout that play, so it gave Kangorillaz a little bit of extra time to get the disc down and to get themselves down and able to get that rebound off of Strambitsky's shot attempt there, and Zenith able to finish it up.
All right, so roll out back to Aurora. What's up to Nadash? Welcome to the stream, by the way. What miss ya for the world? Except sometimes I probably do, but it's never on purpose. Glad to have you guys here. Saluna here. Oh, no, twice now that's happened to Saluna. And that is, again, just wrenching, tough stuff, and maybe too hot in the shot. Saluna, of course, known for those 19-meter-a-second throws with consistency, but sometimes it just pans out, well, that way.
Yeah, it seems to be some sort of tracking issue there. You know, very unfortunate for Aurora here. Saluna, like you've said, very skilled player in the game. And that being said, Kangorillaz taking advantage of this opportunity and putting it in another 2 points here, sealable bag with a nice pass from Zenith. So, you know, now up by 6 points here. Aurora's going to have to get a quick jump start back into it with just 6.5 to go in the round.
Yeah, and knowing Kangorillaz and kind of just seeing that play unfold, I'm sure, again, as high-level competitive players, even Kangorillaz didn't like to see that happen. Of course, they're still going to play on it. You've got to play on it, but I don't think they were happy to in that sense. I mean, seeing that happen twice now, now as a player, when you see it, you just kind of cringe and go, oh, well, that really stinks. But we're still going to come here and score as Zenith does just that. They're up 9.
Yeah, Saluna was out of the play for that entire play right up until the end. Just as Zenith was taking the shot, she was getting out of the tube there. But so yeah, it was a 4-on-3 situation there because again, Saluna seems to have some sort of technical difficulty, and they've already used their technical timeout, so they can't you know, take that extra timeout to fix the problem. So they just have to play with it at this point. So Kangorillaz is able to take their time, and they're now ahead by 9.
Yeah, and again, if you factor in. Had both of those, you know, shots gone in, which had a high percentage of a chance, you know, had those issues not occurred, we'd only be looking at a 5-point differential here potentially. Of course, no guarantees that Kangorillaz would even have scored off those turnovers, so we don't really know. That's the thing. I think biggest leap that Aurora needs to make in this round. Oh my goodness, Zenith, no!
Wow, what a shot there from Zenith. Like, I just thought it was going to be grabbed there by Aurora and you know, casually cleared out, but no, it was the perfect bounce to go towards the bottom pocket. It was a great shot, and then they're up by 12 now. Kangorillaz was just reaching the halfway point of the first round.
Yeah, and what I was going to say, their biggest hurdle for Aurora really is just dealing with you know, that mental toughness in the sense that you can't let it discourage you, even though any reasonable human in the world will probably get discouraged off things like those because, yeah, very well could be still a close game in theory. So for Aurora, they just have to kind of get back into it, find the rhythm some way, somehow, and then they will. You know, it's Moonface there from Steel Sky, and they get their first 2, and let's see if that gets them ignited in this round.
Yeah, so the first point's on the board for Aurora in the match just with 4.5 minutes to go. Moonface able to get that pass high above, you know. But I find it's very difficult to you know, control your movement when you're up that high and your orientation is still like the default orientation because your hands are in the air, you're trying to reach on the roof, but Moonface doesn't seem to have any issues with it and was able to put that into the first 2 points of the game.
And Steel Skydiver with the disc right back, so maybe another opportunity deep on the clear, so the right intention, trying to paint the opposite corner on the clear, not give time for that midfielder to accommodate. Let's see if they can accommodate that. No! Instead, give him an accolade. It's Strambitsky. They got it made on the defensive end and the passes as they move it up the floor.
Yeah, great timing there for Kangorillaz, able to get that save there at the last second. It looks like Zenith's trying to go for a little bit of a boop shot there, but it's going to just hit off of the geometry and into the hands of Steel Skydiver. Now he's able to take his time. He has some pretty accurate passes, if I do say so myself. Gets it right to Moonface. Moonface going to reset it now to Saluna. Saluna back on the reset, looking for the pass. Oh, quickly pressured here is Steel Skydiver. Gets it over to the top to Moonface. Moonface over to Caesar. And Caesar puts it in for another 2 points. It's now 12-4.
And so back to back and able to get that. So 3 minutes left. they're still fine, whether for this round or the next one. They're starting to find a little bit of rhythm. You can see you got the defense there causing a couple of turnovers, and with that, here we go. Kangorillaz trying to stop the minor bleeding that's happening at the moment. Not just, you don't want to give up 3 in a row and more than that, because then you'll start seeing those little snowballs occur in this game. So got to be careful, as they will take the disc back and clear that, or send it back to a Zenith rather, as they move up the floor on offense.
Yeah, resetting there was the right decision. Taking their time. They know that they have that point advantage. They know that they have not a lot of time left on the clock with 2.5 to go. They know they can take a little bit of time here, kill as much time as possible. And that's really the strategy that Kangorillaz, I can see, is kind of going with right now, which is probably the best option for them, as we know that they can keep control of the disc in the offensive zone. And a great save here from Steel Sky, but it's going to go into the goal from Mad. Unbelievable. I don't even know what happened there. It just seemed like it was an amazing save off of a great shot, and then somehow the disc was just thrown back into the goal. So now it's 14-4, back to a 10-point difference.
Well, Stram trying to go for a little bit of sneeze, and well, instead got sneezed out, but still stuffing it back. Not a stuffed nose, but it's still gonna be Mad, and Saluna will try for the shot. Gonna be picked out the air by Sealable Bag. Back to the midfield. Gotten by Mad again. Mad getting knocked, I think, by the Geos. It just goes off the floor. They try for the stacks, but Caesar puts a stop to it, allowing Steel Sky to retain. And 1.5 minutes left. They're down by 10, but still yet another turnover. And that's going to be an open goal. And down it goes.
And, with 1 minute 20 seconds to go here in the first round, score 16-4. 4 times the score. It's not looking too good for Aurora in the first round, but, they should be able to try to get a couple more points here at the end and carry some momentum into the next round, to tie it up here, and hopefully for them move on to a third round after that. But we got to finish this one out first, so 1 minute to go.
Oh yeah, Elusive in the chat, putting in some of the elusive moves we just saw on stream from Elusive the other day. The man of many names. That's Saluna. That's exactly what they needed to, again, end this last spurt of round 1 with some score. So glad that one went in. No issues that time. 18 meters a second. So all Saluna had to do was just take 1 meter off of the normal 19-meter throw. 19 meter a second throw. That's all she needed.
It's just so fast it can't process it.
Yeah.
She's too good. Oh, and a nice steal here from Moonface off the Joust, going for an open shot 3. He puts it in. Now 16-9 with 20 seconds to go in the round. That should do it for the round. But nonetheless, great momentum here that they could carry into the second round.
There you go. So back to back again. We've seen now a couple of those consecutive bursts of shots coming in the last few minutes here for Aurora. So although they will concede the round to Kangorillaz, who put on a mighty fine show on the whole, round 2 could be a different story. So they're gonna have to keep the pressure on. Meanwhile, for Aurora, use the next minute or so to their full advantage.
And taking a quick look at what we have for stats at the moment, looking at Kangorillaz side of things, we got Zenith with 8 points, solid for him. Mad with 4, and Seal Babag with 4 as well. And assists across the board, you love to see that. See, especially with Kangorillaz, how their great passing game. Seeing all the assists coming in, it's great to see that. And then on the side of Aurora, there we've got Moonface with the 5, Caesar and Saluna with 2 apiece. And but overall, great round for Kangorillaz. Aurora with a couple technical difficulties at the start of the round that probably cost them that first round. But carrying some momentum here, hopefully into the second round, and hopefully moving on from that tough first one.
Yeah, and shout out real quick, thanks to Clean Mike in there for redeeming that. I cleaned the old gullet with my invisible drink. But yeah, thanks for that. And Nadash, indeed, I'll shout you out twice. Why not? Galactic Rift as well, Flare VR, Tom Wellings as well, Lings. And yeah, going into the second round, Aurora, I'm hoping they'll be fine. Kangorillaz, we know they're going to be fine more often than not. They're the Kangorillaz after all. But Aurora here again showing their mettle, as they will try and get back into this round and force that third with a strong opening here. They won the first joust. Let's see if they can win the second one here. They will.
Nonetheless, a very strong joust as the headbutt goes all the way around the arena. End up being picked up by Mad, but Mad is quickly stunned out here by Steel Skydiver. Gets the pass off to Caesar. Caesar now taking a little bit of time here, finding the reset over to Moonface in the back. Now Moonface able to take his time, flipping upside down here and looking for an opportunity. Zenith pressuring him a little bit here, now going for the punch, and he gets stunned out himself. Just gets the pass off to Steel Skydiver, looking for the cross pass to Caesar. Caesar looking for another quick pass. No, it'll be stolen here from Strem and cleared out to the side and picked up by Zenith, and he'll finish off the clear. Great defensive play here from Kangorillaz.
What a fantastic pick by Strem. You can see that intention on the pass, and it would have almost gotten there. Even a little hesitation on the pass, knowing that it could have been picked off, but still it was. Moonface getting the disc at midline, and that's a soft one off the bounce. That's going to roll right into the goal where Mad awaits. Mad being stunned by Saluna, however, as Caesar retains, dances around just a little bit before passing it high to Moonface, and now lining up maybe some offense again. Scoreless in the first minute. Could change in a hot second, though, as a very quick turnaround fling will be missed, and Zenith clears.
And a quick stack here from Sealable Bag. Going for the long shot here. It's going to just hit off the side of the backboard, so it's going to take that awkward bounce that many people don't like to see when they're clearing the disc down, but quickly recovered. Looking to recover it. Once again, though, it is Zenith. It's going to be 3-on-1 situation here. Looking good for Kangorillaz, and he'll put it in for 2. The first 2 points on the board of the second round belongs to Kangorillaz.
And the Cyclone from Zenith, just rolling it in. Not a lot of options for, well, the goalkeeper, that is to say. I mean, going 1-on-3. Although, I mean, I will say I've seen Steel actually do exactly that on a few occasions with the outnumbered situation, still making a save. But against that firepower of Kangorillaz, they will be able to will it through, and maybe even another one on back-to-back attempts here in just a few seconds. The Cyclone part 2, and parting the way for the 4-point advantage.
I can't not even keep track of that disc in Zenith's hands. He's just moving it like crazy. Is that what you mean by the Cyclone?
Yeah, just whirling it around like a cyclone.
Yeah, no, it's very hard to keep track of, and I could definitely imagine being in Steel Skydiver's shoes there, trying to find it, but just unable to do it. But, stop the 3. There's no 3-pointer there, no open 3, so it's only 4-0 now with just over 7 minutes to go. But possession back in Kangorillaz' hands in their own zone with the stack. Now Zenith with the disc, stacked up with Strembisky, but the stack gets stunned out as the disc gets cleared. Trying to recover it there is Moonface, but he can't seem to grab it, so it's a race for it now between Mad and Moonface. Moonface able to grab it and get out of the way of the stun, clearing it through the tunnel. Waiting for it is Strembisky, as Caesar was not in the best position to pick it up, so Strem now with it, crossing it all the way across the other side of the arena to Sealable. Sealable looking to the center there for Zenith. Zenith looking for the cross pass behind the goal to Mad, and Mad, oh, great save from Steel Skydiver, but a nice steal there from Mad back into the hands of Strembisky. Strembisky now trying to go off of Caesar. Caesar can't seem to stun him. Into the hands of Zenith. Zenith going for the shot to Sealable. Sealable puts it in to finish it off, but nonetheless a great defensive effort here from Team Aurora. That was an eventful play.
Can't go too soft there on Steel. He'll just leave you wondering where that disc went and out of there. So that first dunk maybe a little too casual in a sense. The second one, putting a little more strength and getting closer there near that post, just to make it tougher to grab as well. So yeah, like I said, he'll do that to you, but so will Saluna. They got the angles maybe, but just losing the handle, it'll bounce off the top of the nest, or the bottom of it rather. Now a back pass, a little bit risky, but they're gonna get that out of there, looks like, without too much issue. As again, the brawls in the back line, I mean, they're doing well, knowing the Kangorillaz have proven to be a very speedy team over the course of this season and seasons in general. So you can tell brawls are the priority, but let's see if they can get the disc back. They shall. There's Steel.
And just now floating midair, it's a race for it. It's going to be Sealable Bag slapping it down towards Strem, and Strem will get it straight to Mad. Mad looking for the backboard pass to Xena. Xena's right out to Sealable Bag, right out in the slot, and he puts it in for another 2 points. 8-0 now in favor of Kangorillaz.
Yeah, so far, shutting out Aurora in this round, despite, again, last round, sort of similar situation. They did put together some, on 2 different occasions, some back-to-back goals to end that round with 9 points for Aurora, to Kang's 16. Thus far, we're almost halfway through. Well, Kang is just about on that same exact pace with 8 points, but Aurora are going to have to kind of do what they did towards the end of last round again, because they are currently scoreless, and they cannot let this go on for all too much longer. That shot a little too long as well. That's going to just bounce back, though, to Seal on the rebound.
And Seal looking for a pass down below to Strem. Strem maybe looking for the goaltender to be stunned out, looking for the backboard pass to Sealable, but Sealable now losing tracking.
Seal Luna.
So
Seal Luna,
get cleared now.
you didn't get it.
Seal, yeah,
I'm so
yeah,
disappointed in you.
yeah.
Oh, I'm so disappointed in you. Strabitsky, though, with the throw, and that's going to be Steel Sky with a collection, and nonetheless, right back to Zenith, and another little bit of a cyclone. Oh, okay, they're going to roam for the 10th point, and they're going, and they're going.
Yeah, no, that was kind of a chaotic play there. You know, it started off with Sealable losing a little bit of tracking there. Right when he was about to dunk it in, gets it all the way down to his own zone, but they eventually find Zenith inside the bubble, and he's able to put it in for the 10th point on the round.
Yeah, and I see chat pointing out as well there. Yeah, a lot of dunks in this game, for sure. And thus far, and let's see if they can get one here. I mean, for Kangorillaz especially, they're not a team who shies away from those. I mean, they're a team that prioritizes the easiest possible shot. Is that not the easiest, but it was a shot. Moonface.
That was
quick,
a shot.
Quick reaction off that backboard.
That was a shot for sure. That was a great, angle for Moonface. It didn't look like the best of angles, but clearly from his point of view, it definitely would have been the ideal angle for him, as it was a clearly intentional, like no doubt about it. That's definitely what he was trying to do, and he was able to put it in for the first 2 points with just over 3 minutes to go here. It's now an 8-point difference.
Mad cutting, another cut as well to Zenith, too tough on the catch, so up by the shoulder, Saluna is going to be able to clear that. Meanwhile, the stack already prepared. Moonface bouncing it, but too slow in terms of the bounce. It takes off heat off the throw, and even though those bounce goals right in the wheelhouse, right in the skill set. Like I said, unless King's stacks are stopped, they're going to be able to get back on those consistently, as it nearly goes in for another 3 with a deep heave and another dunk from Mad.
That three-pointer would have hurt them quite a bit there, as that would have increased the lead to an 11-point difference, which is a lot more difficult to get, because that's almost guaranteeing you have to get a three-pointer yourself. But nonetheless, Kangorillaz was able to recover quickly and put another 2 points on the board to extend their lead back to 10. And just advantage back to Aurora. Steel Skydiver with the disc, quickly passing it off to his left side of Caesar. Caesar looking down the middle to Saluna. Saluna now with the disc, taking her time. Looking for a pass back over to Steel. Steel looking for Caesar. Caesar finds it. Caesar on the ceiling now for Moonface. Moonface back to Steel. Steel puts it in for 2. Quick response here. Now 2 minutes to go. The point difference is back to 8.
And suddenly it is looking a lot familiar to last round, but it might be kind of like then, too little too late, maybe. I mean, they're not so far out that they couldn't come back, but 12-4, knowing Kangorillaz, who are launching here, they're not going to be prioritizing necessarily giving possession back. If they can just hold this, pass it around a little bit, I'm sure they'll be happy with that just as much as anything for this last 90 seconds.
And we know they can definitely keep possession, especially in the offensive zone. And Strambitsky clearly showing that they can keep that possession as he's taking on 2 defenders. Gets it back to Sealable Bag and back to Strambitsky, back to Sealable Bag. But a nice steal here.
Wow.
Back to Sealable. Nice stun and steal there to finish it off there. 14-4 with 1:18 to go.
Well, another great save off of some phenomenal passing from Kangorillaz. That was absolutely impeccably timed, and all those passes caught, even though some of them were not easy catches. Those were coming off pretty hot thanks to the close quarter situation. So fantastic passing, great save, but again coming back at them with that re-grab on the disc, able to put it home. Less than a minute left, they're back up by 10, maybe a few more. There's the drive in from Mad, and Zenith right behind, just gonna watch as Mad gets the drive. Up triple now, 16-4.
Yeah, I know you can. It's definitely out of reach now for Aurora to claim the second round and to move it on to a third. So Kangorillaz will take the win here, as there's just 30 seconds to go. But nonetheless, Aurora can take one last final push here to see if they can get one more point on the board. And Steel Skydiver takes the disc and throws it to the tunnel, but it's quickly stunned out here by Zenith and Mad. So Zenith taking the disc now, going along with Mad. It's a 2-on-1 scenario. Pushing his field, but is able to get past him. Zenith puts it in for another slam dunk. It's 18-4, and that should do it for the match.
Yeah, ducking beneath and dunking through, looking just like a dart basically on that whole play, but clever moves, and with that, yeah, ending the match in 2 rounds for Kangorillaz here on that sweep. So, Aurora had a couple scoring, back-to-back scores in both rounds, but they just weren't able to really capitalize and continue that burst by the end of it. So with that, that will conclude this one. Kangos taking it away.
And yeah, just taking a quick look at the stats before we head off here. We've got Zenith with 16 points for Kangorillaz. You know, that's big for them. 10 for Sealable, 8 for Mad, and 2. Excuse me. On my screen there, just Saluna swapped over to Kangorillaz. I got a little bit mixed up there. But Saluna nonetheless with the 2 points for Aurora. I do think Aurora was just a little bit off their game today. You know, with a little bit of technical difficulties they had at the start. You know, that kind of brings the morale down a little bit, and probably had an effect on the rest of the game. So. Yeah, but nonetheless, I think Aurora can come back from this in their next match.
Yeah. It's definitely a tough way to start anytime where you go into a game already, like, just on paper, you already know it's going to be, you know, higher pressure and viewership, and the stakes at Master, of course, always relevant things. So to go in that with, focused on, okay, we're going to go in there, we're going to execute our game plan, this and that, and then they did execute their game plan on those first couple attempts, and then the game plan went south just like the disc. So when those things happen, they had to restart and had to take a few extra minutes. That anything like that disrupts that whole flow to your game, and when that happens, it can be a mental hit. I think Aurora still did really well in reacting to it and not conceding more points than they had to. They still again put on 9 points there, and that was all mostly in the last half of round 1. Not quite able to get the same results in the second one, but still putting on the full effort. And against a team like Kangorillaz, you're gonna have to, because as ever, always, I mean, look at the stats. You pointed it out, but I mean, just by eyeballing, you can see everyone has points there. I mean, there's no single score leading score. Everyone, as I said, like Strem surprisingly has none, but on any other given day he can have 15 or 20 points. That's the thing. Everyone can score. I think it was Matt who got the first couple of goals for them. So again, who positionally might be known as goalkeeper, but just as much as anyone on the team can also get the scores. And they all assisted each other. So that's the thing. Playing a team like Kangorillaz or any team really who's been around and has that kind of chemistry over the course of multiple seasons and years, you gotta bring pretty much everything against every single player, or else they'll all equally punish you if given the chance. So with that, successful game to them. To everyone in the stream, I will give you your channel points here in a second. One moment. And yeah, so coming up next and throughout the rest of the night, this will actually be, see, what time is it? Yeah, so we actually have a little time, I do believe, which is to say 30 minutes. Yeah, so 30 minutes until the next match, meaning we will end this one in just a second here, but in half an hour from now, we will have Ethereal versus Project Mayhem, so another Master Tier game in North America for you. Following that, we'll have Old and Feeble versus There Is No Team. And for those who aren't aware, perhaps, Old and Feeble is, by and large, essentially Team Turbo. Just slightly rebranded in a sense. But running with a roster of Cosmic, Guru Guys, Interceptor, Jay Devlin, Techno Wubs, and Tickle Britches. Talked about that name earlier, one of my favorites. But yeah, so they'll be playing Tint later on. And then finishing up the night in that, for the third match in a row on that block, it's Vapor versus Echoholics. So again, that all starts in a half an hour from now, and we'll have several more matches on the way. Acadie, anything else you want to say or get out there?
I think I'm good, Palidore. It was a pleasure casting with you tonight.
Okay, and yeah, to chat, Sealable Bag loves my face. To think I was going to put a Sealable Bag over it, but no! I said Seal needs a C, and I need to see Seal. And so now that I've seen Seal, I'll see Seal later. Woodchuck wood. Anyway, yeah, 6 Fathom, AJ2 Fresh, Randy, all of you guys, Grumpy, and Lulz. Thanks for joining. Again, half an hour, be right back here in the same spot, or else nothing, or else I'll love you. Be happy, healthy, safe, and good to each other. And yeah, we'll see you again, mighty soon. Broom. Broom, broom.
We're under
Season 3 of VRML Echo Arena is brought to you by HyperX, Rebuff Reality, Asterion Products, ProTube VR, VR Cover, Fixed Gaming, and VRware.net.